gentlemen, welcome to the AEW review as Darby Allin calls out CM Punk for Rampage. And tonight, the Painmaker Jericho one-on-one with the freaking sick freak beast, Nick Gage. In the main event that was a bloody one in AEW. What did you think about it? What did we think about it? We're going to go into all of that coming up next on the AEW review. Wednesday night, it feels so good all the time. Even when it's not the best, it still feels like it's the best. And even when you have a night that's all right, the main event delivers in one way or the other, which is always a good thing. What's up, chat? I hope you guys hit that like button. If you're new, I hope you subscribe. I hope you shout out to the new patrons and the $25 producers. We got Jake DeMarco in the house. He did a 1-hour podcast today that went up on Patreon, and several hundred of you guys listened to that already. So shout out to the people that have been up on the Patreon. 327 members of you insane bastards. An insane ending as we just got the delivery, man, in that main event. Simply sexy. We got our answer as to what's going on with CM Punk, it looks like. And so much more, man. So much going down on AEW tonight. Pretty fire stuff. Pretty fun stuff on AEW tonight. And while the chat comes in, let me get the dono page up for the Psychos. What an insane main event. Jesus Christ. I did not expect them to go there. I thought they would, I thought there would be some light tubes. I thought there'd be some cutting with a pizza cutter, and then I thought they would try to just have this match and then MJF would get involved or something like that. And then they would just kind of, have a pretty decent fight, but it wouldn't be quite like a death match. And we got a pretty deathly death match, a little mini death match there. All of the main things that you would think to see in one, but without all the other. They didn't beat around the bush because they didn't have a lot of time. So they just went into, we're going to do every spot thing you would think you'd see in one of these things. And that was the insane thing. That was whack. That was fucking crazy, dude. That Hurricane Rana off the top rope was insane because the glass got hit and it wobbled and was coming off. And we were just talking about this. Legitimately, me and Jake were just saying, you never know, the glass could go sideways and stab right through you and hurt you really badly. And I always worried about that. And then what do we see tonight but the glass literally wobble and basically be in a prime position to just cut someone into shit. And luckily it wobbled a little bit, but it stayed its course, I guess. I don't know. And somehow it did not do that. And then it exploded beautifully. And it exploded so much because instead of being flat, it should have exploded down at the ring. So they should have gone through it and explodes down into the ring. But instead, because it was on a wobble, as it wobbled this way, he went through it, and it exploded and shot out into the crowd and covered the audience in glass or whatever it was. I don't know what they were using, but I almost think it was some kind of glass because they were bleeding from something all over the place. So they were bleeding. And
Joe, if you
Jake
had told me 2 years ago that Nick Gage and Chris Jericho would have a full Nick Gage death match on
If you
AEW
told me 2
Dynamite,
years ago, I would have said, "Who's Nick Gage?"
Yeah, I would have laughed my ass off. I would have laughed to the point of unconsciousness. Now tonight, I feel like I'm possessed because my God, this was great. What a night this was. I mean, honestly, they killed it. This show, from top to bottom, was so much fun. Spaz said to me, the NXT guy, he's like, "Wow, this show kicked us right in the ass." I was like, "Yeah, absolutely. Tonight was fantastic."
Well, and if you told me about Nick Gage, I would say that now I know why he does all the hardcore stuff, because the guy can't move worth a shit.
This was the most wrestling entertainment Nick Gage match I think I've ever seen, or he's probably ever performed. Up until
how many
they
Nick
started
Gage
the
matches?
death match, he was actually wrestling.
How many Nick Gage matches have you seen?
Quite a few actually recently.
I've seen one.
I actually I had seen some over the years just because of all the hype and stuff around his name, but I never cared for deathmatch style. It's not something that interests me. But I had seen it in passing, being like, "Ooh, God, that's gross." You know, why is that necessary? And I watched the match with Matt Cardona the other night for the GCW Homecoming. That was insane. They did every single spot just about they did that night with Matt Cardona. They did with Chris Jericho tonight. I never in a million years thought you would see the pizza cutter come out. And that was probably the most intently I've ever watched a picture-in-picture ever.
Well,
while they're playing a pizza ad, they have a pizza ad playing,
pizza ad,
and he is just slicing away into Jericho's head. And then he did the same thing they did with Cardona. He brought him, like he usually does, to every friggin' post and point, so the crowd, you want it? And then he slices them up. You cannot say Jericho did not go full death match tonight. I give him so much credit, because I did not think they were really going to go all the way there. The gouging with the light tubes, not with Jericho. I didn't think he would. He looked like a regretful mess at the end of that. He was like, oh my God. He was a heap. He wasn't up celebrating. Like, I know he was selling it a bit, but there wasn't much for him to sell. He was in a world of hurt. He was a mess.
That's awesomely funny. I mean, it literally was. If you've seen one death match, you've seen them all, but you never seen a main event death match in AEW with Chris Jericho. That's what the allure to this was.
Yeah,
you saw Jericho
seen the Texas
go
death
this
match the week or 2 weeks ago, and that was great with Moxley, but really good. I wouldn't say great, but tonight was just great because of who was involved. The fact that Nick Gage was this entertaining, told a good story, sold when he needed to, it really fed the crowd. I mean, he was great. I couldn't have asked. He didn't go off on his own. Like you could tell. I was worried about that. I said to you, would he see a refined Nick Gage? But he's got to be ecstatic, thinking. I mean, first he gets the dark side of the ring coverage. He goes back with GCW with the title, and then everything there with Cardona. He's been selling out merch and getting bigger and bigger. Now the AEW stuff. I mean, he's on top of the world right now as far as deathmatch stuff goes.
What I guarantee happened is, like always, Jericho was watching that stuff like all of us, because Jericho loves watching all the same stuff we all do. Jericho saw this, thought that guy looks awesome. We should do that, and called the guy. And I'm sure Jericho knew the guy could do all this. You know what I mean? Jericho wouldn't have worked with him if he didn't think that he could do this with him. He wouldn't have done it. He'd be like, yeah, that's not going to work. He definitely knew he could do this with this guy, and which I love. I love that Jericho, gives a guy a payday, has a guy come
that
in.
he's willing to put people over.
Yeah, I mean,
that was the thing, and we've
Jericho's
seen him do it
with
basically everybody from Orange Cassidy to Darby to it's time in and time out.
Yeah,
and plus on top of it, who had said it in the chat? Liquid Motion said AEW needs a hardcore belt. That wouldn't be the worst idea. To have an actual hardcore title, something that's not full on serious, but they can have in a joking way. I think that could be entertaining.
Yeah, I mean,
have Nick Gage bring it in, and then from there, Moxley loves a good death match every now and again. Have him hold it for a little bit to give it a little bit of prestige, and then anybody that's a Janela belt as far as I'm concerned.
Well, that I would definitely do that, but I honestly don't even think we're going to see Nick Gage again for a long time.
Oh, probably not. But I was just, saying it wouldn't be a bad idea.
But that is the way to. That's definitely the way to bring it in. Like in a couple of months, bring back Nick Gage, and you got to get past him to win this hardcore belt or whatever. That'd be wonderful. Now, what do you think about the WWE-esque Space Jam promotion?
That killed me. I honestly liked that.
What?
Surprisingly enough, because they were just mocking the Dark Order. That was basically them saying, we're not taking you serious. You guys aren't real opponents, and we're just having fun screwing around, doing a tie-in, making money off of it. So if we're going to do this stupid match, then we're going to make money by doing a Space Jam tie-in. So up yours, Dark Order. This is what we think of you.
Yeah. Listen, I
loved it for that because they were just cocky assholes, and then they win. I did not expect Hangman Page to lose. I'm like 3-on-1. He's got to come back from this. When he lost, I was heartbroken. I did not expect that to happen. People were saying, "Oh, why? Because you don't want that." But it's not that I don't want that booking. I was just not expecting it. It was emotionally well done.
Well, yeah,
because the crowd was invested. They were heartbroken as well. It seemed.
Well, because they made you think, oh, he's still kicking out, like he's gonna make it, and then it was like, no, he kicks out 3 times and loses, so they make him look strong, but then make you angry and disappointed, so you can
they put him over, but he had to cheat. He had to cheat with the belt, and then the 2 V triggers or 3, whatever, and then the one-winged angel to really seal the deal. And I mean, yeah, everyone said it was cringe, but it was supposed to be a cringe entrance. After the Dark Order had this badass, unified cowboy shit entrance, their silliness of like, I don't take this serious. I thought it was great.
Why was everybody was matching tonight? Everybody had a big team entrance thing tonight. I don't know what the hell that was.
Well, they went for the Survivor Series type with the 5-on-5, so that they really went all out on the Survivor Series method.
Right.
But I loved it. And the story they told, they made the Dark Order look good. You can tell they set up certain one-on-one rivalries, and Stu looked like a badass. He's always so underrated. I've always really liked him in the Dark Order. So that was interesting to see. They kind of put everybody over in their own way. This told a lot of great stories, and I'm curious to see where they go from here, because I did not see Hangman's team losing. I genuinely thought, they're going to win here, so they get the tag titles and the belt. What's going to happen now? I have no idea, but maybe they did change the booking because CM Punk is coming. Maybe CM Punk isn't coming, but you keep hearing CM Punk isn't signed. He is signed. Tony can't answer. If he wasn't signed, then Tony Khan would just say, no, he's not signed instead of no comment, right? Because if he says, I can't comment, he's just adding fuel to the fire. And I don't think he's that foolish to do this again.
No, they're purposely making it obvious at this point. In fact, they're doing with CM Punk what I thought they would do with Brian. Remember I said, make everyone
believe.
Backwards. I'm backwards. Yeah, make everyone think Punk is coming, and then it's Brian, but then Punk comes out after. Well, now it's make everyone think Punk's coming, and he's coming, it looks like, and then Brian will come out, or I don't know. I'm lost. Or it will be Daniel Bryan instead of Punk. I don't know. This is crazy though, but it tells me these guys are signed, and this is happening. I mean, this is happening, and they're trying to tell you without telling you, so you'll go crazy when it happens, but you'll also, the most people possible will be watching. And if anybody's been watching me for the last 5 years, if you've been watching me for the last 5 years, or the last 10 years, but really the last 5 years, or 7 years, I've said that if any other company was ever to come rival the WWE, the first thing they need to do is sign CM Punk. Said that 6 years ago, 7 years ago. You can look it up on my YouTube channel.
Absolutely.
And I thought that was Impact Wrestling or Ring of Honor or a new company if they came along, but we didn't really think a new company was coming along. We thought, okay, yeah, if Impact's going to do something.
I thought it was going to be a Ring of Honor or a combination New Japan Ring of Honor agreement that would have enough money to sign Punk.
Yes. Like, we did not expect this to be here.
No, we didn't expect Tony Khan with an unlimited paycheck or bank account, basically.
And I did expect it a little bit at the beginning, and when it didn't happen, that made me go, oh my God, he really is done with wrestling. So this really is out the window.
And it's smart, like D. Welsh said, the United Center holds 23,500.
Right,
so
they're trying to sell that
place. They need
place.
to pack in. They're teasing CM Punk very heavily, and just as you and I had said for years, this needs to happen. But it looks like they're doing the opposite of what we originally thought. They're going to tease Punk over and over and hide Daniel Bryan. So they'll save Daniel Bryan for the All Out reveal, and then they'll have Punk come beforehand, because they're also, I heard, allegedly, Tony Khan and AEW EVPs are worried that COVID is going to come back in a bad way, and eventually they're going to have to go back to Daly's place.
Right.
They don't want to have to do that on a limited fan number again, where they have to have their wrestlers in the front row.
I brought
They'll
that
do
up.
it if they need to, but they're trying to avoid that. So they're trying to move things up. So if they are moving certain things up, this debut not only makes Rampage a must-watch Friday night event now, That'll boost their Rampage numbers because this is now must-see with the CM Punk teases. Darby Allin saying, if I've heard many people say they're the best in the world. If that's true, then they need to be in AEW. That's a huge, obvious play on everything. There's so many teases back and forth.
It's purposely laid out for everybody.
We know he's coming, but this is what they're doing, and I can't wait to see what happens. So I'm extremely elated that Punk's coming back. I am a Punk fan. I am happy to finally see him back in wrestling. So I'm excited to see what happens.
It's funny because earlier today I was streaming and I said, if it was me, I would rush it because I'm worried that they're going to lose people in the arenas. And like that they're going to.
I don't want another Brody Lee.
Yeah, exactly. So I was
Matt Hardy debut. That was so unfair.
Yeah, so I'm like, I don't want to go through Matt Hardy and Brody Lee. I said this exact thing this morning. And so I said I would rush Punk as soon as possible. Get these guys out there. And it's so funny that this is what took place tonight on Dynamite because everything I predicted or was talking about earlier today about how, I don't know, man, instead of bringing out one and then another later, it's like you got to get going now on this because if shutdown happens again, you don't want, then that's fucked. CM Punk comes out to nobody.
Can you imagine CM Punk versus Darby Allin to start things off?
Well, CM
Punk
Sting
in Darby Allin's corner.
CM Punk probably picked him out and was like, "I want Darby."
Of course. Guy. If I was CM Punk and they said, "Who would you like to face?" Besides the AEW champion, obviously, they'll want that down the road maybe if they go that way. And he said, "Well, we can't raise the dead, so I can't pick Brody Lee. So let's go ahead and Darby Allin. Who would you pick? Honestly, that's who I would have went with if I was Punk." Absolutely. Not only is he a safe worker in the sense of, but he's also believable and he can do the hardcore stuff. I know he'll sell well. He's trustworthy. He tells a good story in the ring. Plus, you get Sting in there as well. So it's a double, a double bonus, really.
The problem...
It's a huge namesake match as well.
It does stink that, because I think Punk coming out of nowhere on some show, would be insane. And I wish that was the case. But obviously, they've looked at things and felt we need.
What if he doesn't show up then? What if it's like the Becky Lynch thing that they keep doing and he's not there that night?
This is bad because
I think he'll be there, but what if?
The reason it's got to be him because otherwise you will have angry people. This is basically being used to sell tickets. So you're gonna sell all these tickets based on this. I'm going to take on the best in the world, and you'll see what happens. And even JR on commentary, they're like, a lot of this is going to be, there's going to be a lot of sales because of this. And, they basically said, we know,
I have heard directly that WWE is in the same mindset right now. They do not care about ratings at all, which we've heard several times before. But the direct quote is that they're attempting to acquire more monetary opportunities by showing packed arenas on television. They are using all tactics that would bring more people out live. The main tactic being unannounced events that do not get aired on television, a la John Cena the other night.
Yeah. John Cena is the WWE's MSG draw, and AEW needs CM Punk to sell this big Chicago. 23,000 people for AEW. So they're basically, they couldn't do that really. They've been selling, they could probably do 15,000, right? They could probably do 15, 16,000.
Yeah, up to 18,000, I think the New York show was at. So.
Right. So this is dude, if you're going to do it,
That's another 8,000 you have to add, almost 10,000 at a time, So yeah, absolutely. And WWE having this mindset, it makes sense because that's why they did the scene afterwards as a surprise, unannounced. And what they're doing, going forward is going to be the same thing I said with The Fiend. And it seems like they're going to be bringing people back afterwards as big surprises. Now, the only reason I'm bringing up WWE really quick is because you and I had a deal that we each predicted the ratings. So really quickly, you said Raw was going to get a 1.75. I said a 1.83.
I didn't see the Raw rating.
It is a 1.814.
Wow.
So if we're going by Price's Right rules, you win, but I went over, but I am closest.
What did I say? 1.9?
You said 1.75.
Oh.
I said 1.83.
And it was what?
It was 1.81.
I think. Oh well, you went over, but I'd give it to you. You're closer.
Yeah.
So I go by who's closer. So that, I give that to you. I think you won that one then, because that's a bust. I might have allowed for 1-7 anything, but it wasn't. It went up to 1-8, so I'd give that to you. But either way, we were both kind of.
We were in the dead.
We were right around.
Anyways, yeah, we were
right
in
around
the
the
same
spot.
vicinity. So
yeah,
we had like a 5% difference, and there was a 5.7% difference from the week before. So, even the 18 to 49 demo was on a down 14%. So everything was bad. But back to AEW tonight. They started off this show, I thought, excellently. You see. The NBA style entrances for the Elite, I thought was hilarious. Personally, Hangman Page and the narrator giving them their cowboy themed video package for the Dark Order, I thought was badass. They had a great entrance, and I loved both sides of it. One is about the guys taking everything dead serious. This is the first and only chance they're getting for their team, and doesn't matter if they fail, because this is the opportunity that they're facing. So great mindset, awesome, inspiring moment. And then the Elite come out, dribbling, fucking around like nothing. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, I thought I thought they were pretty nice. I thought it was weird. The Space Jam tie-in was goofy, but I thought it was funny. So I kind of liked this. I didn't love it. I just thought it was kind of goofy. I thought anybody watching AEW for the first time or watching in a long time is like, what the fuck is this? Like, so that's the only thing I was kind of like, oh, this don't look good.
Yeah, this is very BTE,
WWE
oriented.
It reminded me of a New Day segment.
That as well. It is WWE-esque. I'll give you that much. But there's a lot of backstory to it on the YouTube stuff that they were heavily implying. So that's the kind of thing, like, you have to have that BTE knowledge yet again for you, not to get the whole thing, but it's implied a lot of the story I was telling of them not taking this serious. Their point was to get into Hangman's head and basically undermine the Dark Order and be like, we don't care what you're doing, we're just goofing off.
Yeah. I think I think if you were to give this segment an 8.5, I'd give it like a 7 or a 7.5. Like, I think I'm just a little bit more down on it, but it still like was nice. And really, I mean, I don't have much to say about the match either. Like, I thought it was well done at the end. I thought it was great because they really put over Hangman, but at the same time screwed him over to get the heel heat. So everything worked out fine for me, but it was a little long, but it was a 10-man tag. So, I mean, what do you expect there? And a lot of big names, so you're sort of protecting in a way. But the biggest thing is the injury, really coming out besides the pinfall.
Oh, God, that was gruesome.
There was a lot of gruesome stuff tonight.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Some intentional, some unintentional. Right.
But listen, the Space Jam stuff, was kind of funny to me, like, because I was like, what are they doing? And they're doing the Space Jam thing because of the Space. And then when I saw that they were actually promoting the movie, that's when I went, oh my God, this is fucking hilarious. Like, I was like, this is, and it was more of the whole, like, they're being stupidly terrible on purpose. Like, it's more
like
of that.
They have been, to get booed, to get, exactly, because they don't want, like, AJ and Omos, the fans, they had to skip their entrance on TV the other day on Raw. I didn't even pick up on that because Vince doesn't want them seen getting cheered by the fans.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing, that the Elite doesn't want to be cheered while they're heels, so they're really mucking it up to be like, oh, screw the fans, and really, really being obviously bad guys.
But also just being this ridiculous. It's just so funny being so cringe, like not funny, cringe on purpose to make sure nobody cheers for that. Like, how can you cheer for someone saying like these like old dad jokey type of things?
He said the spider to the flood.
Yeah, and just like nursery rhymes and shit. Like, it's
it is very campy intentionally.
Oh, by the way, I'll tell you what the best thing about this whole segment was. Dude, I fucking almost died. Don Callis and Jim Ross were on fire during this match. Fuck the match. Fuck everything. That commentary was fire. No way was that was blew Raw out of the water. Jim Ross is hit or miss on AEW. He's sometimes slow and older seeming and out of it. And then at other times, he's his old self, and he's crushing it. And he started tonight with a fire in his voice that I hadn't heard in a little while. He was like, "It's Wednesday night, you know what that means." And he didn't do it like he normally does. He did it really loudly. And then when Don Callis got on the mic, him and Don Callis had fucking beautiful chemistry. Hilarious. At one point, Don was like saying shit about this, that, and the other thing, competing in the sport. And Jim Ross was like, "It's not pro sports, you idiot." And then the banter back and forth with Don Callis and even Tony Schiavone was great. The commentary entertained the shit out of me. That first fucking match was great commentary. Don Callis, we've always known it, we'll always say it, and he delivers again. Don Callis is a fucking gem on commentary once again. Until Ross, he sort of drifted off after, but then he came back for the main event. So that was beautiful. Let's go to the donations.
Oh, this whole city with gritty, yo, we might
a fucking pizza cutter, Nick Gage. What up to Shell?
This whole city will eat our own shitty in Philly. That's why our mascot looks like a...
Hi guys, hope all is well. So happy for Nick fucking Gage. I've known him for 11 years. My buddy said you paid the FCC fine before the show BTW to do some of the stuff in the match. The juice is back. Seems like Punk is back.
Yeah, I was going to say, that was a little more than mature going on out there tonight.
You knew they were going to get fined because they can't even have blood in certain states and all these type of things now. So
that's hilarious.
But thank you, Fade to Black. Yeah, absolutely a great point. And I was curious how they either skirted around or dealt with that. And it's funny how they wanted to have previously Jericho said,
I don't even know about that. I don't know why they can't have...
I mean, that's extreme violence, I guess.
Gratuitous violence?
Yeah, gratuitous.
Aren't there horror movies, though, that air on this channel? I mean, that's what I don't get.
But I don't know if they show that extreme. Usually that's more censored or they cut around things, I swear.
Really? Okay. I didn't know that. I had no idea about what the
Usually
FCC...
a lot of those movies are censored for TV.
I don't know.
They don't show the full gore.
I don't know what the FCC rules are at this time on TNT. I don't know what...
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that means, but...
I mean, cable has different rights and with their, compared to network television. So, but either way, I mean, still, they've done things similar before. It shouldn't.
But you're familiar with the FCC rules?
Who, me?
Yeah, you're familiar with them or no?
No, not personally.
Oh, okay. I didn't, because I don't know what the fuck I don't know what he means by paid the fine.
No, I'm saying it would make sense though if that's the case.
Okay.
I don't know it for sure. No.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just I have no clue.
Speculating, as I said, but I would love to find out. Hopefully, we'll get some type of incentive before out of nowhere tomorrow. But either way, they still have had very similar things. I mean, they did it with a fork last time instead of a light tube. The pizza cutter was maybe the only thing over the edge, but they've gone through glass and tables and into barbed wire tables. So I really don't think there was that much extra besides the pizza cutter. Maybe
I don't know.
And they had the fork last time, so with the Texas Death Match, so that was pretty much the same thing, I believe.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I have no idea what the ruling is for the time.
That's interesting. We'll have to find out.
I think it could be after 10 o'clock too. That normally you could have done this, but because it was before 10 o'clock, because that's something that I do remember that certain cable stations, it's like. There's hours of what they allow or what it's not that they don't allow. It's not that TNT can't have it. It's that if they're giving a rating, they have to follow the rating. So if they broke out of the rating, but I mean, I think they're mature graphic violence. I think they gave that rating tonight, and if they did, then I'm not sure. We'll find out. Maybe I don't think
we'll see how many letters get
all right,
written
I'll just get to the point. I don't believe there's any fine.
Yeah,
I don't think.
I mean, if they did,
I don't think there's a fine.
But I don't, like I said,
I'm wondering if there is, but I don't think there is a fine. That's what
there shouldn't be.
That's what I'm cutting to
with that kind of agreement. But if they do have to worry about anything, they've got money. So Jericho said they wanted to have AC/DC's Back in Black for when they pulled up in the limo for that segment ages ago, but they wanted a ridiculous number. It was like $500,000 to use the license for that one segment only. No repeats. And then Metallica, I don't even think ever answered them. Or is it Guns N' Roses? One of the two. I have to go back and reread the story. But It was all the big bands they had asked. So when I first saw Nick Gage entering tonight, and you hear the bell, For Whom the Bell Tolls, I was like, oh, did they get Metallica to say yes for his entrance? Because GCW doesn't care. They're just on Fight. But obviously they can't use Metallica music. So it was the For Whom the Bell Tolls bell ringing, but they used their own, Nick Gage theme. So at least they had kind of an homage to his usual entrance as well. Right. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool when they keep that little bit of continuity a little bit. For the people
tried.
that know.
I'm sure if they could have gotten it, Tony Khan would have, but I believe Metallica
it's the
wanted
same
some
thing
crazy
as,
number and never responded.
It's like the bald guys with their with the Say Yeah at the beginning of their theme. Like, oh, remember the song from WWE? Say Yeah! And then they start, there's like a country rap that comes on for whatever their, I don't even remember their names now. Dash and Dingle. I don't remember their names anymore.
Plus, people are going nuts because, we've seen, oh, look at that. All these different signs for CM Punk are coming to fruition. Oh, look, the people that play his theme song, they're following Tony Khan and AEW. Oh, look, that's another sign. Look what he put on Instagram with The Last Dance and, the Alan Parsons Project, and everything's connecting because now they're calling this First Dance show for Rampage. And it's not the first Rampage. So calling it, the First Dance is definitely interesting with him citing The Last Dance. It's at the Chicago Blackhawks United Center.
Yeah. I mean,
Darby
you
Allin
can't
called him
telegraph
out.
anything more than this. The point is to say it without saying it so they sell the tickets. This is so obvious.
This was his big announcement. This was Tony Khan's big announcement for the day. So.
Yes. Well, and his response earlier today by saying, oh, I can't talk about it. It's like, and I said that. I said the first time he answers or has to respond to these questions, which he's going to get them right away, we're going to know. And I think he figured that out. And so either this was planned all along, which I'll bet that maybe this is the way it went. But it was probably planned all along this way at this point. It isn't rushing because
it seemed like Daniel Bryan was planned all along and CM Punk kind of just came to be. Oddly enough.
I would think that if it wasn't for the fact that they're going to the Chicago arena.
Well, it seems like that was an addition. It wasn't a planned show because they just added the show for Rampage.
Yeah, because we got Punk, we can do this
because
show.
They've been filming or planned to film some of Rampage after Dynamite for other times. That was discussed.
This is going to be
They are
wild,
having
man.
Rampage be its own show at other points, but that was just for their first show as far as they've announced.
Now, Rampage is still going to only be an hour on that night?
I believe it's only an hour, yeah.
So the second Rampage is coming from Chicago. But it's only going to be an hour still?
Maybe they'll do 2 hours. You never know.
I mean, I don't know this. Does anyone know? Because, we're talking about 20-something thousand.
It doesn't say here for the announcement.
You're going to do a show for 23,000 people on the Friday night Rampage show that is in front of less people on TV too, right? Because, we know that the numbers are 500 to 600,000 for AEW on a Friday as opposed to 1.1 million on a Wednesday, and you're going to have 1 hour in Chicago with 23,000 people in attendance. It's so crazy. You just man, a Dynamite would have been much better, but I know you're launching the new show. So it makes sense.
All of the AEW EVPs flew on a private jet to Chicago over the weekend. Allegedly Tony Khan was there, but apparently he wasn't on that specific jet, but he did go to Champaign and, so he was definitely there, but they all went to the Windy City to go ahead and film apparently at the United Center. They're filming promos. So that, they already knew that this was going to happen. As you said, it seemed like this was some recent, but a tentative plan for CM Punk's debut.
Yeah, this is some crazy stuff. This is big news for everybody. I think this is an amazing idea to sell out. They're basically choosing to sort of spoil it a bit. I'm surprised it's backwards. Like I said, I would have thought Punk would be the surprise. Daniel Bryan would still be a surprise, but they would build him up. But they're doing it the other way. It seems like they're selling Punk, which tells me they think Punk might be the bigger draw. So Punk's the bigger draw, apparently. And it just makes sense. They're going to Chicago. So, what is Daniel Bryan going to be in Seattle? I don't know. Or maybe Daniel's not signed, and maybe it is Punk. I don't know. Or maybe they both are. I'm not sure. But let's go back to the donations real quick because I did pause them.
Mirror,
It's the Ryback rap.
yeah.
Oh,
Don't talk back.
Ryback!
If you do, yeah, we'll go splat. I'm a fucking baby. It's the Ryback rap. Finish it. Shell shock. Super man is what women call my dick. In the bedroom, it is large and in charge. Yeah, it's the Ryback rap. It's the Ryback rap. I'm coming for that ass. Yeah, so join my fitness class. Shell shock. It's the Ryback rap. Gurgle.
Honestly, the opener and the main event were both really good. But my respect for Jericho went through the roof. 50 years old and he went through all of that. I can only say that the last few weeks of Dynamite have been great. 8/10 tonight was fantastic.
You know, I like tonight a lot. Soundwave 92, thank you. I mean, I like tonight, not a lot. I like tonight. I wasn't that into tonight as much as last
See,
week.
I really enjoyed tonight.
I mean, I enjoyed the show. I had a good time.
I like really enjoyed tonight. Like overly enjoyed tonight.
Okay, so I'll just run through it real quick in the top of my head here. So that opening, we got through that, right? That whole thing.
Yeah. They had the, really quick the back and forth.
Well,
and unfortunately, they couldn't have Hangman win, tonight. But it's a lot of heat for the Elite, and we got to see what happens with the story going forward. So there's a lot of intrigue here. I thought it worked really well. I'd give that whole segment like an 8.
Yeah, I thought it was nice. I give it a 7. So I was like, all right, that was okay. But I might even give it. I'm actually what I liked the most was the commentary. I don't care almost that much about anything, but I like the commentary. That's all I want to talk about is how JR and Don Callis were fucking awesome. So commentary was
his
fire.
Shorts. Yeah, I can't forget about mentioning his shorts.
Oh my God, I haven't seen a leg like that since. You haven't seen a leg like this since the '80s, JR or Shivani.
Biden would have loved to rub that.
Oh my God, dude, that shit was hilarious. The commentary was so good. And then Andrade cut a fucking dumb promo on Midget Guy. And then
that was bad. I did not care for that at all. With Pac, and unfortunately, he's like, he tried to blame them for being not at the arena and the Lucha Bros, and it just was stupid. All of it was ridiculous. I'm not interested in any of it, unfortunately. That was probably the only thing I really didn't care for tonight.
It was quick, thank God. And then Taz is...
Yeah, he's on the podium. We get the Ricky Starks FTW title celebration. What'd you think of this?
Good promo. I thought pretty good promo.
Ricky Starks is good at playing a face heel in the sense of like he can still get the crowd to, eat his ass if he needs to, but he can also shit on them at the same time.
Yeah,
ass, baby.
I thought it was a nice promo.
He's great at it. Yeah, I liked it. I liked the way they made Brian Cage again look like a badass, messing up the band and smashing the bass drum over that guy's head was hilarious. The way that he sold it was perfect.
That guy looked ridiculous. I mean, you can get hurt.
It was ridiculous, but
ridiculous in a
funny.
You can get
in
hurt
a funny good way. Yeah.
Just talk for me. Go ahead. No, go ahead. What's next? Because fuck this guy.
It looked like it hurt, though. It definitely looked like it hurt.
I hope he's dead.
Then they had the Tanahashi video saying that he's going to challenge whoever wins that U.S. title match tonight. So a lot of people are really excited for that, but I'm not a big Tanahashi fan. He's good in the ring, no doubt, but now we're going to see the Murder Hawk have to fly to Japan and then have that match. So
finally Lance Archer has momentum. Finally has his spot and some momentum and got cheered a little bit tonight because he's actually winning and actually beating people and actually seems kind of cool now as opposed to he was awful before. So he finally has traction, Lance Archer. I'll even say it. I thought thumbs up. They finally gave him some traction. About time.
Absolutely. It was about time because they really made him feel over tonight. I liked what they did. It was cool to see King Haku come out with that Hikuleo match. And Obviously, it's unfortunate that Tanahashi won't be in AEW, that they have to do this in Japan, New Japan, but I get it because it's probably easier for him to fly there than to fly here because of
Right.
how it works with the COVID stuff. And but they both had like a big man style big hoss match, but both sold well for each other. Archer hit that big suplex and covered him, got a great near fall. Everybody kind of thought that was the end, but then Archer hit the blackout in the middle of the ring and scored the pin. And everybody, cheered wildly. So it was a good match, and everybody popped big for Haku as well. It was cool to see Mang again.
That was awesome to see Haku out there. That was sick. I mean, this is a guy we saw at WrestleMania like 5. That was fire for me. Like, yeah, that was good.
Now, before this, we went ahead and we had the Santana and Ortiz versus FTR match. This was one that I was personally really looking forward to because these are, Santana and Ortiz are one of my favorite tag teams in AEW. FTR, great tag team, no doubt about it. I mean, realistically, they should probably still be the AEW tag champs, but they were robbed by the Young Bucks. And this match did not go as planned. You could tell that everything kind of fell to shit here because Cash Wheeler was in the corner basically being kicked off, and when that happened, he dragged his arm on the turnbuckle post, it looked like, and he ripped open his arm. The flesh was open. At one point, it even looked like you could see a piece of bone. Like that's it. By the time they got the camera over to the corner where he was with medical, there was a gigantic pool of blood on the ground from where his arm was just profusely dripping. They even applying pressure, this thing was still just bleeding. So that looked incredibly painful. He immediately reacted. He looked, you saw the blood come up. He kind of got like white in the eyes when he looked up. He was like, uh-oh.
Oh, yeah.
And then he jumped down ringside and ran over to the medic. And I don't blame him because you can tell if he just hurt his arm, he probably would. Those two bastards are insane. They've taken some serious injuries, we know, in the ring before and have fought through the pain.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Knee sprains.
That was scary.
High ankle sprains. All this, that's the stuff you die from if you hit an artery. So hopefully he is okay. But that was not how they had planned to have this match play out.
Right.
And I am hoping that everything is okay, that they can just stitch that up and it's not something that he has to recover from for a long time. But that was scary bad.
Yeah, luckily they took care of it, and it had to end the way it ended. Obviously something else was going to happen, and they tried to end it multiple times, and the referee, they just couldn't do it. At one point there was a roll up, and they wanted to end it on the roll up, which was funny enough because the ref was yelling, "We got to go home. We got to go now.
Saying, we got to go home. We got to go now."
So they roll up, and both shoulders are down is the problem. So both shoulders are down, and he's like counting, and he's like, "No, guys," he's like, "Break it, all right." And then they finally just, what was it, like an impaler or something? I forget what the thing finisher was, or Falcon Arrow, something like that.
Yeah, and it just, like you said, they couldn't get what they wanted from this, and it was unfortunate.
Well, they basically did it to be continued. Like, we'll pretend.
Yeah, they got rushed into the ending, and then the pin. The ref should have just counted it anyways, knowing the issue, but the refs have been assholes.
They kind of gave that window. If he had counted a 3 there, he could, as they were rocking over, he could have been
That's what I think they wanted.
He could have been like, "Oh, I don't shit." Both shoulders were down, like, and then he could have waved it off and said, "The referee says both shoulders were down," like, and so
these guys are smart. I guarantee that's what they were probably trying to go for. That was the best possible outcome to save this match. If I was them, that 8 minutes was not the planned time for this, and it was not going to end in that kind of roll up. This was short and not sweet. So, unfortunately, not what we wanted from this at all.
That's okay though. They got out of there. Hopefully, nobody's seriously too hurt. So they got out of there.
That's why I'm not upset by it. I'm literally hoping that Cash is okay.
We'll just do it again some point. We'll figure out Cash or whatever in a couple of weeks, whatever it has to be. They'll figure it out. And that's about it. I'm not really worried. I thought it was fine. Nothing got resolved because of the injury, really, and we'll see you next time. So no problem.
So now Tanahashi has, Jordan Kenny let us know, revealed a time and place. It's going to be at New Japan Pro Wrestling Resurgence, The Torch, at LA Coliseum. So it's going to be New Japan Resurgence, and it says at the LA Coliseum. So they got tickets being sold now. That's interesting.
Where what?
It's going to be a New Japan show. New Japan Pro Wrestling, Saturday, August 14th at the LA Memorial Coliseum in Los Angeles.
Okay.
And that is when you will see Lance Archer take on Tanahashi. So it won't be in Japan, but it will be at New Japan.
Oh, I'm hard. I'm so good. Oh my God, I'm hard for the new member.
Anna Hanneman coming in with 3 months in a row as a member down below. Thank you, Anna. One of my favorite names, by the way. Hannah, Anna, Annika. I don't know why. Those 3 names. Love
Did you
them.
see Botch Club and the Wrestle Daily had a sign shown?
Yes.
In the audience. How awesome was that?
Tweeted that out. Botch Club in the crowd. Or someone with a Botch Club sign in the crowd.
Only thing would have made this better is it in Philly. Gage used to wrestle, but because of all the deathmatch stuff his body can't take a wrestling match as much anymore. Props to Jericho on this and the Muta tribute.
Right. That shit was great. Fade to black, thank you. And yeah, Gage did, couldn't move much, but once they started hitting those hardcore spots, I mean, those were fire. That shit was nuts. That slam into the glass, that is one of the greatest glass spots ever, or like table or through a thing. Anything through a thing. That is one of the best through a things I've ever seen. Like, seriously,
Absolutely.
that glass exploding, if you don't believe me, ladies and gentlemen, here's a little bit of the audio. I put it up on Twitter. Listen to this. This is fucking crazy sounding.
With a Hurricane Rana.
I mean...
Listen to that sound. Perfect. It almost sounds like a fake sound effect with how perfect it sounds.
Yeah.
It's
and
pre-recorded. I know it's not, but that's how perfect it sounds.
It's crazy how the glass, they didn't fuck up necessarily, but kind of. Jericho's legs, before Gage goes through the glass, Jericho's legs smacked the glass, rattling the glass forward. And honestly, I mean, dude, here's a shot right here of after Jericho's feet hit the glass and before Nick goes through the glass. Look at the glass. It goes parallel or whatever. It comes from a flat base to going up into the air.
Yeah.
He could have
impaled himself to death here.
Or it could have gone into his neck because it's going into his neck here.
Yeah, and Steven's right. Whoever was in the front row got glassed for sure.
And because the glass wasn't flat and it didn't explode down into the ring as much, it actually exploded out into the crowd, which would not have happened if the glass was flat. So, if you were in the front row, man, you were part of the hardcore match, man. I hope you didn't go in.
Janelle just said, it went into the audience.
Oh yeah,
you nailed it, Joe.
I hope it didn't go in someone's eyes. I love Jericho. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hurricane Rana off the top rope. Through the glass.
You know, Joe, not to derail the show, but speaking of deathmatch, I'm really stressed, and I gotta get this off my chest. Speaking of deathmatch, I had to beat the hell out of my daughter tonight. You know, I don't believe this, but you'll never believe what she did. She said something that shocked me, and I can't believe it, but she was actually acting racist, Joe. It shocked me. She went ahead and she was trying to exercise. She was sitting on a medicine ball, and she was sitting in different positions in different ways, and she was like, "Oh, look, I'm sitting." I can't even repeat it. She said, "Joe, I'm sitting Indian style."
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Fuck. I mean, all this parenting.
Well,
out the window. I hear it in my nightmares.
second! Wait a second! Here to kill Jake's daughter in the name of all the Native Americans! It's the one and only, the Native American Tatanka has arrived!
Sorry, Danny's got to teach you a lesson.
The roof just came off the Hoosier Dome! I don't know.
That's why she's getting canceled.
Yeah, I hope she gets canceled and beaten. It's Deftones!
Can someone check in on Scene's view? He may be going into full body convulsions over all the CM Punk returning news. How are they gonna do Hangman like that? I was wondering how they were going to get out of someone pinning Kenny and get Hangman a shot.
Wouldn't it have been funny if he was still missing? Because he'd just come back recently after all those years of punk this, punk that, punk that, punk this, punk that. And he
literally every report he's back rumored. WWE, New Japan, Ring of Honor, CZW. I mean, we've even heard at one point that he was going to be in that silly What Culture professional league. Remember when Sean reported that?
Yeah.
He was like, this just didn't.
He'll be at the UK arena.
He had Bullfrog on again the other day, and that was not nearly as funny as it could have been, but he did plug the Joe Cronin show.
Good.
So go Bullfrog.
Good job, Bullfrog.
I give him credit for that. He did plug JC.
Let me taste my hate, taste my crate, taste my bait, my master bait. I fate. I'll date.
He must be in heaven right now with all this CM Punk news.
Soul Man Butt, thanks for subbing to the channel. What's up?
Yeah.
Listen, I had a great. I'm exhilarated. I'm agitated. I'm masturbated. He really says stuff like that.
I think somebody needs to check on Jericho, really, because
dude,
like your thumbnail shows,
I remember selling crack to Nick Gage in 1997 in a dark alley. He gave me his girlfriend and a bag of nickels for payment. That guy got the back kicked out of his wet ass.
Oh my God.
That is probably true.
It probably is true, to be honest. AJ Adams, thank you.
I'm glad he's doing better now.
Let's check out Jericho and see what he's saying. He doesn't have any
Twitter
pictures. Yet? Yeah, no pictures up yet, or no. I mean, listen, he's probably gonna play dead. Probably is dead. Be honest. I'm trying now to look to see if there's any pictures of Jericho.
Probably in the hospital, needing some help at this point in time.
This was crazy.
No.
Oh, here it is again.
Do you want your money or not? Get out of there! I got shark. Shit!
Listen to the crowd pop.
You
for
become a shitball.
That crowd pop is wonderful.
Haven't been this excited for wrestling in years.
Cody Mastro coming in with the $4.99. Thank you, Cody. Yeah, man, that's the thing. This is exciting, man. I can't believe how exciting this feels and is. You know, and I'm bleeding because I have some weird bump on my face that I've been scratching it. Now I just ripped it open, I guess.
It was just today too, Joe, that I watched the Matt Cardona match with Nick Gage because I was just curious how it played
also,
out.
R.I.P. Bobby Jordison, former Slipknot drummer, Mike Howe Metal Church singer, and Dusty Hill's ZZ Top guitarist. We lost some great artists the last 24 hours. Dan Nelson/Punk could change the landscape here in wrestling. WWE could be in trouble.
Well, I mean, WWE is really not in trouble because, like, there's just so much money and stuff. But what it is going to happen is, you know, AEW is going to do better. That's what's going to happen. And WWE is in trouble in some ways because of the audience just shrinking. I mean, at what point do these idiots on Twitter stop? You know, and I'm wondering what that number is. You know what I mean? We're back when we're at 4 million. They laughed when I said we're at 3 million. And then we were at 2 million, they laughed, and then we got down to 1 million. It's like, so at what point will a wrestling fan on Twitter be like, there is something wrong? You're right. There's no fan. Like, what's going on? Will it be 1 million when they just hit 1 million only? Will it be when they hit 900K? Will it be when they hit 800K? What if the WWE was only watched by 800,000 people a week? Is anyone panicking then? I mean, you're not panicking.
I don't know if Vince would still even care so long as he's packing out and selling arenas, honestly. And about Joey Jordison, I found my autograph for and I met him and a few of the other members of Slipknot. And he was so nice to not just me, but all the fans that got to do like a little secret meet and greet that day at Ozfest. he was really, really down to earth. And I was like, at that point,
Now he's down in
earth with Slipknot. Yeah, he's really in earth, but my God, so young. What, 46? He went through all the spinal issues, last decade, and it caused him to no longer be in the band, and everything that happened since. He did get better for a little bit, but I don't know if they said the cause of death, but I was obsessed with Slipknot at that point in time, and he went ahead and I was like, "You're the best drummer in the world," and he was acting all bashful, like, "Oh my God, thank you so much." Like, he was just really a cool person to talk about music with, and very receptive to the fans. So nice, amazingly talented. It's a terrible loss for the metal community for sure. So,
well, and definitely, and for the midget community too, because he was a small man, and
he was extremely tiny, but seeing him, be able to do some of the things he did was ungodly on the drums, especially upside down on fire. Crazy bastard.
You know what? Funny thing about him too, besides him, is a side thing to him was I needed a new snare drum head a long time ago. It was like, I don't know, it must have been 2005 maybe. I don't know. Maybe it was maybe it was 2008 or whatever, 7 or 8. Fuck it, who cares? 2007 maybe. I need a new snare drum, and I saw that the Joey Jordison snare was out, the one with the Slipknot logo on it and stuff like that. And I like Slipknot, but I'm not like the biggest Slipknot person. I was in 99 and 2000. I love Slipknot. I do like Slipknot, but I bought it because like it sounded good. Like, man, it was a wonderful sounding snare drum, and I was like, I'm gonna get that. So I bought it. I bought it, and it was so fucking loud, dude. I don't know what this fuck did to this drum or what, because I guess, you know what I mean, allegedly worked with them on the sound or whatever. And my God, man, this thing was like, like fucking all my other drums sounded like they were like level 6, and the snare was like it was just fucking insane. I had to duct tape the shit out of it.
Because it was steel.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Like
it was
full steel, powder coated.
Yeah, I bought it. It was okay. Actually, now that I think about it, I think it was a birthday gift from my mom. Because
it was piccolo powered too. So
yeah, it was piccolo. It was like it was like a fucking super piccolo is what it was. Yeah, it was like fucking ping, ping, fucking.
It was crazy.
You had to fucking like duct tape the shit out of it. Like it was just fucking crazy. But yeah, Joey was great. Fuck, man, I don't know, dude. He's like one of the best metal drummers ever. He was so good, and it sucks ass. And
I missed the chance to see him when he was with Metallica filling in, and I was sick at that time. So my buddy went, and I was so upset I didn't get to go. But I saw some of the videos he took. It was just incredible to see him be able to memorize, songs that aren't yours that quick. Like just be able to fill in that, quickly live. He was just incredible. Absolutely incredible. He could listen to a song once and know it. Just that talented.
Maybe it's a fucking pimple. Maybe I'm dying. I got fucking bumps. I got bump cuts that won't heal on me. I got one here, one here. I got AIDS, guys.
I'm telling you.
I'm gonna be dead next off of something weird. String Ray Cool, what up? Thanks for subbing to the channel, man. What's going on?
I got a cast going all the way up to my groin. I don't want to hear your bitching.
Oh, God. Well, see, that's the thing is you'll continue to suffer and be like Mr. Broken Man. I'll just die suddenly of like fucking...
You could probably see this shit, too.
Yeah.
AEW doesn't need more titles with the open door. We have seen all the following on one show. AEW Women's, AEW Tag Team, TFTW Triple Omega Triple Tag, NWA Women's, IWGP US Impact and Impact Tag titles. That's it.
Yeah, I agree, Spaz. I'm sick. I hate the open door shit. I'll be honest. I don't give a fuck. Fuck New Japan, as far as I'm concerned. Fuck New Japan, and fuck the FTW title thing. I always hated that belt. Too many belts. Too many belts in WWE. We don't need to do it in AEW now. So, yeah, I'm pretty much there with you. If you get rid of the FTW belt and you get rid of New Japan, then I'd bring the hardcore belt maybe to Rampage. But the point is,
Duncachino?
it would stay on
Don't
Rampage.
Mind if I do. What's my name? Duncachino.
The hardcore Friday night title.
Creamy goodness, I'm your friend. Say hello to my
chocolate blend. Thanks, James.
I want to see Rude Shinsuke and Prince Boomer in AU after that. I'm good on WWE's wasted talent coming to AU. Only ones left in WWE I care about.
That's a good point, Metal Mastodon. What's up, Mastodon?
I think everybody's got their favorite right now. Like, who would you fantasy book in AEW to be, like, either a great heel or crazy. Like, who's one person you would love to
CM
pull out
Punk.
of WWE?
I want CM Punk in AEW. That's what I've always.
Well, I think he's already signed. So who from WWE right now would you pull out? I know you never pull out, but
it would probably be Triple H. No,
that's not a bad pick, honestly.
Okay, so let's start thinking about it. Let me give you like a few, and then we'll think about it from there.
My
AJ
top would
Styles,
be Finn Balor. So
I don't.
That's my.
Yeah, I don't
top.
care about him. He's boring to me. AJ Styles and Adam Cole, and who else?
Adam Cole's a great one.
Finn Balor pisses me off at this point. I can't stand him in the ring.
Well, see, there's so much history with the Bullet Club. I don't
care.
Good. Yeah, I think that could be interesting because you're talking. They don't have to even really like redo the Bullet Club.
I know
Just
too
have
much
him
about
go
Balor.
in and rip through everybody.
I know too much about him. I love Legos. I build my Legos, and I'm like bi, and I like everyone. I don't buy anything from him. He smiles. It's weird. I just don't like.
Yeah, main roster Finn certainly ruined him for a lot of people.
Basically, he has sex with everyone. He's weirdly quiet, and he plays with Legos, and he does the same 9 moves every match.
Finn Balor's for everyone, baby.
He is for everyone. I like that, but he's just not for me. So I'm going AJ Styles and Adam Cole.
With AJ, think about it. How many dream matches do you get in AEW that we have not seen or have seen, but not on American soil? There's a lot of opportunities there.
Kevin Owens is another one. That's 3.
Owens is a great pick.
Shinsuke's 4. And who else? Ricochet, probably. I mean, I don't know.
You said Prince Puma. I mean, Ricochet is another great choice.
Oh, he said that?
Yeah, someone that I probably, Kyle O'Reilly is a great choice, and things like. But I think there's a few that could be like Bray Wyatt would certainly be interesting. And there's a photo going around of him right now, and holy shit, he lost a lot of weight. He looks amazing. He looks great. He certainly had a bit of a metamorphosis from the last time we've seen him. So, Fiend for Follows on Twitter tweeted out the picture. It says, "Wow, Bray Wyatt is in the shape of his life," and you can see it. He definitely slimmed down, and his arms look a bit bigger. So, good on him for continuing to lose weight. You can tell by his legs. His legs are much tinier.
Yeah, it's WCW all over again. JEB says. It could. I mean, it's very somewhat similar on a smaller scale. But,
Some reason I miss. Some reason I miss. Some reason I miss phoning you from a phone booth. I miss phone booths. I miss phone booths. I miss phoning you from a fucking phone booth. I miss phone booths. I miss phoning you. I miss phoning you from a fucking phone booth.
Punk versus Omega?
What?
Or Bryan versus
my phone
Page?
said.
Which do you like?
Both of them, no doubt about it. I mean, those are great matches all around. And then you could even do
Furry
the
balls.
opposite. Punk and Page and Bryan and Omega.
Hold on, Leah's talking to me while I'm doing a show. Hold on a minute. Wait,
My
come
sister
here.
made it to surgery for breast cancer, but she tested positive for the new COVID, and my mother is sick, but she said she okay, please, no shutdown. I don't want to buy a mobile to come suck me.
What about it?
All right. Well, damn, that's a lot to take.
Yeah.
Hopefully, everything works out.
Yeah.
AJ Adams.
Yeah, you can
Not
do
sure really what to make of that, but glad Bray Wyatt.
I mean, I see that one all the time.
Is looking great, and then you hear Eric Bischoff saying Nick Gage is bad for the industry and bad for wrestling in general, that he turns off more people than he's actually, attracting. I don't know if that's the case, because AEW was already doing these deathmatch matches before he was there, and people were tuning in at record numbers previously. So AEW, unfortunately, dropped down being on Sci-Fi to 520,000 viewers. I mean, they dropped over 200,000 viewers. That's terrible. That's a terrible rating. And I know that's not all their fault for being on a different channel, but we know even when AEW moves to a different night or time slot, it's not great on them either. But damn, is that awful.
Was that
to see? So
I'm trying to find the donation. I still can't find it. It was Furry Balls that donated, but I don't even see him on here.
Yeah,
Well,
furry balls plopped menacingly something. Yeah.
I don't see him on my fucking donation list. But anyway, Furry Balls, thank you, brother. I'm sorry. I was talking to Leah for a second.
Yeah, AJ. Hopefully everything works out. And you
That
said
sucks.
the NXT number was 520,000 last night on Sci-Fi.
How long has his mom had
for
this?
them?
COVID in the hospital?
I don't know. That's not good though.
Okay. Let's play another
She
donation.
said she was dealing with breast cancer, and now she was having
God.
COVID or his
Fluids.
sister.
Thank you, Fluids. Thank you, AJMs. Yeah, my sister had surgery, breast cancer. She tested positive for the virus. Jesus.
Yeah, that's what his sister. And then, I mean, Jesus, it's terrible.
Oh!
Stop punching my cock. That's all I got. Stop punching my cock. Stop punching my cock. Oh my God. Stop punching my log. Oh my God. Stop punching my cock. Oh my God. Stop it.
Oh my God.
Tuned into AEW late, was busy outside drinking beer on my deck lol, but I caught Jericho's match, so with that alone I give it a 8/10.
8 out of 10 from Shell for what she saw. I can appreciate it, Shell. Thank you for the 21. 21.
Yeah, show. I hope you're doing well, show. Hope you're feeling okay.
Well, she must be. She's drinking at this point.
Yeah,
You
well,
know you're
that's-
feeling better when you had some drinks.
Matter, you're masking the pain.
You
Mask it
become a shitball.
What up, Zero?
Rampage first episode 1 I think is a 2-hour special.
Well, the first episode, though, is the week before the CM Punk
Yeah,
one.
that's the week before. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's going to be 2 hours for the next week also, but it's not reported anywhere on what it is. So
I mean,
the
so
TV
that would
listing
mean
is only at an hour.
that'd
so.
mean episode 1 would be an hour, and then the episode 2 would be 2 hours. But I mean, I'm thinking it might. I mean, it might only be 1 hour.
Also wanted to say I always got your back, Joe and Jake. Will always support you so long as you are doing this. CT resident here, so hope to meet you guys someday.
Oh, yeah, you could definitely hang out with Jake, and I'll be there to blow you, too. Metal Mastodon Choppy. Thanks for the $4, man. What's up? Yeah, well, you know, something's going to happen eventually. You know, this COVID shit can't last forever. You know?
Yeah, my wife's back's hurting, so no sex for me right now.
Ah.
She's sleeping.
You become
Well, come on it.
a shitball.
I heard that actually helps it.
This just in,
I
John
tried.
Moxley brother signs WWE contract.
Breaking
Just
news from the
posted.
man with the
Really?
sign in the crowd. Botch Club on Instagram and TikTok. Follow them there. Wait, John Moxley has a brother that's signed with WWE? What? Is that a joke? That's got to be a joke, right? John
Top of the
Moxley.
show, and even now, here we are about an
I don't see anything. Whoa! Just have to go to Botch Club on Instagram to find
My
out.
prediction is Renee Paquette will be coming out to formally bring out CM Punk on August 20th at UC.
Blair says for $10, thank you, the super chat. Wow, that Renee Paquette, which is John Moxley's wife, would be introducing him? That is so weird. That's odd. The wife of someone else introducing Punk? That I don't think that's going to happen. That sounds weird. That's too weird, right? Like Renee comes out to introduce somebody else's husband? Like, shouldn't it be? That doesn't make sense. I don't know about that. I know they're friends, but
Well, with them being close friends, I mean, it could work with her being so close to him, and but this is still odd. I would prefer. I don't know. I'd
that's
rather
too
just have
much.
him
Isn't
come
that
out.
too much? Like too many. Oh, I'm here now, and everybody.
Yeah, how much pomp and circumstance? The crowd is
Yeah.
already going to orgasm entirely and eat themselves. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah. You sound the
Okay,
same.
I think the issue, there was a huge delay before. It was just pretty behind. And I think that's
Oh.
why I was overlapping on top of you. It was like a half a second. So it was
Okay.
weird.
You know, you sound fun, same to me. Maybe
Okay,
maybe you'll hear me better. Maybe you'll hear me better. But yeah,
Yeah.
you still sound the same to me.
Okay.
Sound good.
I checked it on the stream and I keep overlapping on top of you, and I'm hearing you stop, so it's weird.
Yeah, it is weird. There's something going on. I'll be talking, then you'll just start talking. I'll be like, what? Okay, I'm done talking, I guess. But I'm like, maybe it's Discord. But I know it's got to be Discord. But then there's like sometimes where I do stop. So like, and I go, okay, what will he say now? But yeah, I never know. It's usually Discord. It's just the way Discord
Usually.
is.
With all its lovely and inferior wisdom.
Yeah, sometimes like my sensitivity gets reset too, so I have to like noise suppression, I turned it off. So let me see here. Yeah, noise suppression is off. So you should hear everything coming out of my mic, but I guess it doesn't work. I don't know.
Hey, Jay's got a point, JB. He said, if she can't move that much, she can't say no. But
That's right. Hold her down.
When you want it, you can't fight her off.
I'd say just put a load on her thing. Sports fan
that's to
guy,
help
thanks
her
for
back.
subbing.
Yeah.
Well,
I use this TheraWorks stuff to rub into her back, and then I just add some of my own medicine too.
Right. No, I know she's an interviewer. I get it. It's just too much goofy. Like, just don't do that.
Yeah. How much more do we need to add on top of this?
It's funny, though, that they were both on the WWE show.
Co versus Omega Gimme.
RKO
that's a
versus
fantasy
Omega.
match.
I don't know about RKO,
Randy
but
Orton being brought into AEW.
I would say bring in Matt Riddle instead. I'd rather have Matt Riddle in AEW. He'd be fun in AEW.
He was one I was going to say that would be a lot of fun. I agree, Matt Riddle, because he's still young. He's pretty much at his prime right now, and he's only getting better in the ring. He's got great fan support.
Don't
Yeah.
mind if I do.
Owens versus Riddle
Name, Duncachino. It's a whole new game. Duncachino.
in a steel cage match.
I'm your friend. Say hello to my chocolate blend.
69 My gooey ball sweat lol.
Ugh, my gooey ball sweat. Marvin, what racing? Thank you, Marvin, what racing, for the $5. You sexy beast. I will mount you like a baby seal. Okay, brother?
Chowder.
Hot sauce, hot damn, something like that. Hot damn, hot sauce, clam chowder.
Clam chowder.
There it is. I forgot it for a second. Marvin, thank you. Royal Thomas was donating earlier tonight, too. Thank you to Royal Thomas, who chucked in some donos before the show even went off the air. So, I don't know what you'd give tonight, Jake, but I'm still skimming through trying to decide, looking at everything.
Probably an 8. I think that resonates well with me tonight. There was a lot of things that I really enjoyed overall. Unfortunately, you can't help the injury with the Cash Wheeler match. I didn't much care for
Rosa's squash with Green Girl.
Yeah, that was okay.
Happy to see Rosa. We love Thunder Rosa, but
I really like Thunder
Would
Rosa.
you ever blow Chris Jericho for $500? Some smokes a pound of Canadian bacon and some crack to sell to Bullfag so his niece's ass can heal up.
she'd probably pay to have sex with Jericho, not be paid for sex with Jericho.
Yeah, exactly.
What is he talking about?
She would be the one wanting it.
Yeah. I mean, I would pay for sex with Jericho.
Exactly.
What the fuck kind
The
of
Ayatollah rock and roll. I'll make him the
I'd
painmaker.
be the Ayatollah of fucking his cornhola, like at the end of the fucking night.
King of cock.
I think I'd give tonight a 7. Yeah, I'd give maybe 7.5, 7. I give 7 because most of the show to me wasn't. It was the whole show entertained me, and it went by fast, which is always a sign that it was good. So I'd give tonight a thumbs up, but I can't. I don't know, man. I don't know what was so epic about this show to give it a 9 or an 8. I don't understand. I mean, the main event was the only thing. The Cody thing was quick. There was a lot of little things. It just was nice. Like, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. Nice. And I'd probably watch that death match at the end again because it was fucking insane to do on TV. And everything else was just, it was all right. It was all right. I was entertained, but, I don't know. Someone gave it a 9. I think, what the fuck's a 10? Or, I mean.
Yeah, I couldn't go that high, but I can see 7.5, even an 8. And, with just how excited I was to see how over the top they went, that was pretty crazy because I was curious. Do they have to worry about Nick Gage, and is he going to, take things into his own hands? As we've seen rarely before, it has happened. And he did well with the Cardona match. And I was mentioning earlier, I just watched that today. Every spot essentially they did in that GCW Night 1 match.
But that's every spot, like in
that's
every
essentially
match
every
like
death
that.
match. But that's what I'm saying. So they went and did their usual full-on death match, and I'm shocked because I didn't think
Yeah.
they were going to go as. I thought we'd get one light tube, maybe a piece of glass, but not everything. I was shocked they actually went through with the pizza cutter all the way.
Oh,
and
yeah.
the gouging with the light tubes, and Jericho went for it. He was a bloody mess at the end of it, and I guess I'm not alone in watching, GCW's match earlier. A couple of people have tweeted that they did the same too because they were heading into this. Funny enough, I'm not big in the death matches, but it worked for me because Jericho is supposed to be going through hell to get to MJF. Then they announced Juventud, over a joke that they said forever ago. Who is he? Now I did Google him, and he's one of the best ever, and now he's coming back. Like, holy crap! So far, this trial of Jericho, or whatever the hell it is, it's been entertaining.
Yes.
I have to give them that. They have not disappointed yet. MJF coming out with a big ass bucket of popcorn killed me.
Yep.
He even said I was the best thing on the show last week because his segment had the highest number of viewers. And say what you will, but him on commentary was fantastic again. Him screaming "kick out Nick" was hilarious. I really liked everything he did. The pizza cutter and picture, like I said, I've never watched picture in picture so intently. That was exciting. Thunder Rosa, it was odd to see her against Julia Hart with the face versus face thing. So everyone was like excited for the Julia cheer, and then from that it was kind of dead. And then they just cheered Thunder Rosa at the very end.
They were the crowd was a joke, the crowd was a little dead sometimes. People noticed that, and part of that, I looked it up. First of all, it's true they were a little quiet at times, but I also looked up the arena. This arena is not a high arena. It's a very strange place. It goes way out wide. It goes an extra like 80 feet out, as opposed to most places this size normally. So a lot of crowd cheering is going on way out there. Like, it's a very strange arena. Look it up.
Yeah, the Bojangles Coliseum in North Carolina, Charlotte to be exact, is certainly a unique place. And like I was saying, absolutely, the crowd was also very loud when they needed to be. They responded to the right things.
Well, that's what I mean. They were dead.
A huge pop for Haku. They were very energetic, but it's hard to get behind two faces beating each other up when you don't know quite who to cheer for.
Well, Julia
really
sucks.
Like Thunder Rosa, but I guess Julia
sucks.
I know she sucks. Oh, I'm not denying that, but the fans still like her because they like Pillman Jr. and Garrison.
Why is she there?
I don't know.
She doesn't know how to.
She needs to stay on Dark and get some more training in, because this was just it either should have been a very, very quick squash and not gone to 4 minutes even as long as it did, or she shouldn't have been there at all, honestly.
I thought, I just don't know. I mean, she can do some things here and you can tell, but it's like she's learning or something. Why is this person out on main on
I don't even think she's learning. I think she's just botching. And Thunder Rosa did the best she could because she is so damn good. She tried to make this girl look good, and that's nigh impossible. But at least she can do some flips and cartwheels. So I guess some things were okay, but the submission hold looked sloppy, but not her fault. Here's the thing. Rosa's number one now, and I don't want to see her become women's champion yet, because I don't want to see the Britt Baker feud happen now, because unless they turn Britt face and Rosa heel, maybe it has a little bit of interest, but I don't want Britt Baker to stay a heel. I want her to go face. No, I think
they can both be faces. It's Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart type of shit. Like, they can do that. Like, I would play that up. I'd play up the whole each one thinks they're better and we'll see what the fans think, and they don't need to go, because they've had a million. It's funny because they said they wouldn't have heels and faces. They've had a million.
But that's been a main focal point of a lot of things.
Almost everything is, I'm a bad guy, you're a good guy. Like, everything. So if Rosa and Britt Baker just be who they are and let the fans figure it out, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, I think that's fine right now for the women's division, because the people are going to enjoy it regardless of what it is. Don't need to flip anybody. I think
I'm less interested too in rematches as well. That's
oh my God, she's 18.
Julia,
she's 18.
That might be right. She's very, very young. That's what I'm saying. Why
the fuck is she
young,
here? Who does she know?
I don't know. Yeah, she was counting the steps. If you watch her mouth, she was out loud counting when she was doing things. She memorized that 4-minute match.
Wow.
She had sequences that she was counting out loud. You could see a 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2.
I didn't even need to watch this thing. If you've seen one hardcore match, you've seen all this piece of shit. Like, Cornette's going to, like, I guarantee.
Oh, he's going to rip this apart.
Well, no, Cornette.
I can't wait to hear it.
I'm just saying Cornette's going to say, not that I don't really give a fuck, but I'm just saying he's going to say, like, if someone's saying in the chat, yeah, he's going to say, what we like, it's obvious, like, this death match was like every death match ever. Like, basically, what did you think about that death match? Oh, that was every death match ever. Like, every, like,
it was.
And what I mean is every CZW.
But a lot of those you don't see televised on a main wrestling.
Yeah. And now you don't need to see them.
Like,
I never have to watch CZW. I never have to watch it again or ever, because that was the best it will get. Any other one in front of 50 people.
But I like that they built up Nick Gage as this monster as well, and they really tried to sell, like, what are they going to do to put him down? And Jericho took one hell of a beating here, so at least they really made Gage look like the real deal, I guess you could say, in this as well. He could be used again if needed. He is kind of like that boogeyman in the back. I mean, look what he just did to Jericho's face. That says it all. And if she is, I know Julia Hart, but I didn't know she was related to the Harts. If that's true, that's interesting. She does look very young, but I guess she's 19, the chat says.
That's what I'm saying. Like, who does she know or whatever, like, to get in?
I don't know anything officially, so that's I'll have to look into for I don't know where. But either way, I mean, I've seen her be like the cheerleader for the varsity. I was like, oh, the varsity blondes, I get it. Ha, that's fine. But her wrestling is they should not have.
But her also her cheerleading thing is stupid too. That's the point. Like, why we said this, the varsity blondes should have a manager who's like a coach type person who's like he's like what the hell, before we go out there, like, get the fuck down and give me 50 push-ups right now. And he's like slapping them and he's going crazy and he's like, do you know what we're gonna do when we go out there? Do you understand? I looked up the local medical facilities, what they charge. I don't think those boys have insurance. And what are we going to do when we get out there? Like, like stuff like that, or like a rah-rah coach, But, like, instead they've got this girl who's just like, I'm their manager. I'm with them. Like, why? Why are you with them? And
you
can't talk.
She's just training in the Nightmare Factory, Joe. She's not related to the Hart family.
So she paid someone like $3,000 to train or something, so they put her on TV.
Thank you, Neil, the one. But
should I go train? Should I go down and train with should I write a check and go train with Cody so I can get on TV?
That seems to be the easiest way to get on. I mean, look what they did. They filmed there. They did the stuff with QT, and then they've had a bunch of his students on TV.
I'm going down. Where is it? I'm going to sign up, and they can kill me for all they care. I'm going to go do it. I'm going to sign up and say, I want to be a commentator, but there's no way to do it, so I'm just going to come down here and get the shit kicked out of me, pretend like it's 2006 and I'm wrestling again. Let's go. Here's
another Abraham.
All right, guys, let's raise $5,000 for Joe. Everybody raise $5,000 for me. Donate. And I will take that money. I will go down, and I'll train, and I'll get back in the ring again. How about that? I'll get back in the fucking ring again. Because if fucking Sloppy McGee can do it, so can I. So, boom. Jesus, how do some people not get hired at places? But we'll never know.
Don't mind if I do.
What's my name?
Duncachino.
It's a whole new game.
Duncachino.
You want creamy goodness? I'm your friend.
Say hello to my chocolate blend.
Yo Joe, what our opportunity to AU signing Ricochet and Jeff Hardy. JH has not extended his contract and will end at the end of the summer.
Ricochet signed a 5-year deal with WWE, not a chance in hell. Jeff Hardy, maybe.
I thought Jeff Hardy did I don't know. That's so confusing. I'll have to... I have no idea anymore with Hardy. That's been so back and forth, and the deal was contingent when he resigned about him getting his music back. Remember, we talked about that for when they returned to live fans, and we saw that. And then he was supposed to lose again or win again and beat Karrion Kross again on Raw. So that's funny.
You become a shit bomb.
Hey, Mr. J, do you like lollipops?
Bullfroggy. You're damn right I love lollipops. Do you like suspended Twitter accounts? Huh. I don't know. Maybe you do. Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. Maybe you do. Maybe you don't.
Next week sounds pretty damn good as well. We've got the debut of Malachi Black in the ring versus Cody Rhodes, which we still have to talk about. The TNT champion, Miro, who cut a great promo tonight. I really did like that. Taking on Lee Johnson. Should be a good match, but pretty evidently obvious that Miro's going to win. Christian Cage taking on The Blade. That'll be a fun match. Then we have an NWA Women's Title #1 contender match. The Bunny versus Layla Hirsch. I don't know why they're focusing on the NWA Women's Title when they should be doing a #1 contenders match for the actual women's title.
This back and forth.
I know Britt Baker is injured, but thanks to Nyla Rose yet again, and I love that promo she cut tonight saying, you're a bitch breaker. You did it. Yes, once again, you did it. Thank you so much. But she's right. She injures somebody pretty much every time she's in a match, just like somebody else we know.
Yeah, another fat person.
So frustrating. And then we also have Jericho taking on Juventud Guerrero. So it'll be Juvi's coming back. One of the best. It'll be one of the best high flyers, we should say. And they are returning to Daly's Place next week. It'll be the homecoming show, basically they're calling it, for AEW, and it's sold out. They did a full capacity thing there, and it's supposed to be a big deal. So let's see what other surprises they have in store.
You know what's pissing me off is my phone. It's at 100%, and then it gets down to 60%, and then it just dies. Out of nowhere, just dies at 60%. Like within an hour, just dies. Or if I open an app, it just dies, and then I charge it, and then it dies at 80%, and then sometimes it makes it
cell or in the battery.
Dude, my phone's fucked, and this is only 8 months old. This phone is 8 months old. And the battery just dies within 20 minutes.
Yeah, like a bad cell.
Yeah, it's fucked. And I just fixed
it. Should be fully covered in warranty.
Maybe. I mean, the thing is, I busted
bad batteries, bad screen. Like, so long as it's not.
I busted
damage.
the screen. Remember, I busted the screen a little while back.
Yeah,
and I paid to have that fixed.
Yeah, the screen, because that's your damage, but the battery should be covered under the warranty.
I wonder if
it's not supposed to die like this. That's supposed to last for X amount of years without any issue.
I wonder if opening the phone though, fuck the warranty.
Unless you tore something that said "do not open" or "do not."
Well, someone that fixed the phone probably did.
Not usually, unless if it's a licensed thing, like if you go to like a YouFixit type place that works with carriers. Usually they have certain tools, so they don't do that.
Maybe I'll call the same guy that fixed the screen.
Yeah, ask him, or just see, because usually they're all covered. I know Samsung covers everything for their phones. My previous one had an issue with a battery years and years ago, and they swapped it right out for a new one. They sent me a new phone, and then I just had to send mine back.
Another thing that's happening is it's not updating. There's an update that's been waiting to happen, and it does coincide with this issue. But every time I try to update the phone, it says failed to update.
Oh, so maybe it is a software thing causing the bad battery.
Maybe. It could be.
Maybe you can update it manually via plug it into your computer, USB.
It did say that. It said to plug it into the computer. I never tried that, so maybe I should give that a try.
Try that first.
Fucking unbelievable, dude. Just, there's so much. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you deal with all your appointments and stuff. I couldn't do it. What you do, I couldn't do it because I can't deal with this shit. Anyway, guys, that's the AEW review. Jake gives it 8. I give it a 7. You guys give it, mostly it looks like 7s. I don't know, 6s, 8s.
Yeah, it's between 6 and 8. I mean, a lot of people had pretty unanimously given it between that. So we'll go with an overall average of a 7.5, I believe. Tomorrow night, we'll be talking more about Stephen Amell's comments on CM Punk and what he thinks about the return. And he has a little bit of inside info since they were working together in a wrestling ring, don't forget, for the new upcoming Stars show. What's the rumors about WWE and Queen of the Ring happening in Saudi? Gonna have to talk about that. We also have, tons more about the AEW signings, who else they're looking to sign, further plans with Malachi Black. a whole list of plans for SummerSlam that we're going to go over. All this and more on patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. You can go ahead and join and listen to Out of Nowhere live tomorrow night. Be part of the chat. $2 or more.
$9 for a fuck. Someone donated 9. I'm getting hard. I got 9 inches inside of your wife. $9. I'm shooting my semen to the ceiling. I'm coming and my balls have turned blue. $9. Suck my dick.
I had legs, but now they're decomposing. Goodbye, world.
I had legs, but now they're decomposing. Dusty Hill.
Hill.
Oh, no. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Good God, no.
And also, thank you for those of you that gave me the feedback about the latest episode of UCR. Seems a lot of people enjoyed the non-wrestling, non-Joe podcast that I've been, touting about. I said it's probably one of the best ones I've done that didn't involve you and didn't talk about wrestling. So
yeah, check out Jake's podcast. It's 1 hour long, up on Patreon now. You can download it right now, even for $1. I put it in the open spot. Thank you, Dusty Hill, but Jake's podcast is great today.
Yeah, I'm glad everybody's enjoying it, and it's got some really good stories on there, so hopefully everybody enjoys, and let me know what you think of it, and if people do really want a part 2, I'll have to go ahead and make that happen.
Hell yeah. I'm down, baby. I'm down. We're out of here, everybody. See you all tomorrow for Out of Nowhere live on Patreon. Check out Jake's podcast if you didn't miss it, you didn't hear it, whatever it is. Jericho's bleeding. Yay, we love AEW. Give it a thumbs up. Hit the like button. What do you think? Vote now in the chat. If you can, hit me up on Twitter, JCS Commentary. Hit Jake up at Countdown Ended. And, of course, check out our buddies at Title Match Network for tons of indie wrestling matches and more CZW stuff with Nick Gage and all kinds of people. Title Match Network, Title Match Wrestling Network, Title Match Wrestling on YouTube. Use coupon code Cronin. And check out Botch Club on TikTok and Instagram, and the Wrestle Daily on Instagram and TikTok as well. And also check out Spaz Phoenix and the Spaz Phoenix podcast on Spotify, YouTube, and featuring Jake. And everybody else in the chat, put a big dingleberry in your brown hole. What up, Ryan the Heel? I didn't see your dono. Did you donate? I didn't see it. I don't see a donation from Ryan the Heel. That's weird. Did he say he donated? I didn't see it. Ryan,
I didn't see any super chat or anything like that.
Ryan is a member, though, and Ryan is awesome. I love Ryan. Hopefully we'll catch him on Monetize this Friday night and whatever we do Saturday night as well this week, plus Out of Nowhere tomorrow. Love you guys. What up to Ryan? Hope he's smoking or something right now. Fucking beast. And I'm going to beast on out of here. Thanks to all the $25 producers. You're looking at them on your screen right now. Without these people, the show's over. So thank you to you guys. And thanks to Shell. Thank you guys for being $25 producers and keeping this channel alive. And thanks to everybody who can do anything on Patreon. You guys are the best. Thank you so much, man. And everybody who donated tonight, thank you as well. I believe our top dog and the top bombzo came from Soundwave 92 at $32, I think. If I got that wrong, fuck me in the face, but I think that's right. It could be CM Punk versus Darby Allin. Unbelievable. He could be coming to AEW.
Got the shit kicked out of me.
In the UFC.
Let me bleed. That young dude kicked the shit out of me. Yeah, I got the shit kicked out of me. And I lost the fight. And I lost my teeth. I got the shit kicked out of me. I got the made up world.
Rodney King!